Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. All right, Warriors. We have an Alex Padilla. Yes, he is a Democrat senator, and he was handcuffed, though not formally arrested. I just want to make sure I put that out there because I found out that he was just handcuffed. But he was interrupting, I guess, a news conference with the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and he was forcibly removed. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about a trick that demon rats commonly use and that they play on our emotions. But this time, it actually backfired. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash like, comment, share, subscribe, hit all notifications so that you never miss a video, and I kindly ask you to stick around to the very end. So we're going to start off with a word of prayer. Dear God, we pray that your perfect will is done. Father, that you are the peace that cuts through the chaos that the enemy tries to bring, that your light shine in darkness through us, your people. No matter how much the darkness try to win, we will win. In Yeshua's name, amen. All right, guys, let's see who is here. All right, let's see who is here. We have Michael Rodriguez. Hello, 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 Michael Rodriguez. Hi there. I know, right? Where's Big Tish? She said, where's Big Tish? One man, I don't know if you guys saw a clip that I shared. He actually said, Big Tush. Hey, Big Tush. Anthony Jolly. All right. Hello there, Anthony Jolly. Hey, June Stanley. You've been missed, Michael Rodriguez. You really have. Because I was like, wait a minute. I don't think I've seen or heard from Michael Rodriguez in a while. Hello, Tina Hall. Iron Ear. Hello, hello. All right. Did I get Fed Up Patriot? No, let me get Fed Up Patriot in there. Hi, Fed Up Patriot. Hello, my husband. And also we have Karen and Ginger. And let's see who else we have in here. I hope I'm not missing anybody. That's all that I see right now. All right. Thank you for your shout out to my husband as well. Thank you guys so much. All right. So you know that we have an Alex Padilla, a Democrat senator. He was trying to, I got to be honest with you. I didn't see where he was overly aggressive or anything like that, unless I'm missing something. You guys can let me know in the chat. He looked like he was just trying to ask a question. All I saw was Kristi Noem, and she looked like, what's going on? And they were moving that man out. Maybe there was something else he had done in the past, and I just don't know about that. But I'm going to share this with you because I was like, man, that seems excessive. And I'm just trying to be honest. I want to be fair. I don't like demon rats, but I didn't know what he did that warranted that.
And what they have tried to insert into this city. So I want to say thank you to every single person that has been able to do this. Also, I want to talk specifically to the rioters and to the politicians in Los Angeles. I also want to talk about specifically.
Was he trying to make a mad dash towards her? Was he just like, or was it closed to other people? I'm just trying to make sense of this.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted, and how their families have been put in jeopardy, and that we're not going to allow that anymore as well. That those individuals who are purposely endangering our ICE agents and our law enforcement officers and their families will be prosecuted for what they are doing as far as perpetuating violence on them.
Yeah, because there have been, ICE agents have been getting doxxed. Okay. And dox just means they hand out your personal information so people know where you live and they can come and try to hurt you. Again, maybe there's something I'm missing with this whole thing, guys. And I'm just not sure exactly what's going on. Why was he forcibly removed to that extent? I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make sense of it all. I'm really trying to make sense. And I have another clip here that I wanted to share with you as well, so we can take a closer look at it, so we can see more about him being handcuffed.
Guys, ready? And sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your on your
I also wanted to
hands off.
how many of our ICE agents have been docked.
On the ground. On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, it's been behind my back.
All right. Cool. Other hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here.
I did not know.
There's no recording allowed out here per FBI, right? For the building.
So what, I'm sorry?
There's no recording allowed out here.
Okay, so that was another angle of it, and I got to see what you guys are saying because, excuse me, excuse me, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, anybody telling me what's going on? I don't know. You know, the way Democrats normally work, they normally try to make Republicans look bad and make themselves look innocent. They always try to do that. They always try to, you know, try to start something where somebody has to detain them and arrest them, and then they go and play the victim. I mean, that's what they typically do. That's their MO. Demonize the other side to distract from what they're actually doing, and then they play the victim. And see, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that what he did? I wasn't able to really see that, but that might have been the reason why they handcuffed him, though I did not see it. So that is, I'm just like, what is going on? So he was handcuffed, but not formally charged. I'm like, what is going on with Alex Padilla? You know, it can't be anything too good, but you guys let me know what's going on, because I'm looking at it like I didn't see anything too crazy. But here he is talking about the incident. Again, you know, they we're going to hold them accountable. See, he arrested or handcuffed, rather, an actual sitting senator. This administration must be stopped. But they got all these folks out here in the street who, you know, they are allegedly getting compensated for causing trouble. Okay.
Put your hand on me. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. You guys have some questions. I'm going to read a brief statement. I will not be taking questions, but allow me to read my statement. I'm here in Los Angeles today, and I was here in the federal building, in the conference room, awaiting a scheduled briefing from federal officials as part of my responsibility as a senator to provide oversight and accountability. While I was waiting for the briefing with General Guillot, I learned that Secretary Noem was having a press conference a couple of doors down the hall. Since the beginning of the year, but especially over the course of recent weeks, several of my colleagues, have been asking the Department of Homeland Security for more information and more answers on their increasingly extreme immigration enforcement actions. And we've gotten little to no information in response to our inquiries. And so I came to the press conference to hear what she had to say, to see if I could learn any new additional information. And at one point, I had a question. And let me emphasize, just as we've emphasized the right for people to peacefully protest and to stand up for their First Amendment rights, for our fundamental rights. I was there peacefully. At one point, I had a question. And so I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I was forced to the ground. And I was handcuffed. I was not arrested. I was not detained. I will say this. If this is how this administration responds to a senator with a question, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers out in the Los Angeles.
Now he's sounding emotional. He sounds like he's going to cry. So I don't know if part of being a Democrat is like you got to go to acting class. You got to do the Meisner technique. You got to just try to, learn how to build up emotion in you. Because I'm going to show you something else that makes me think these people are out here acting. Okay. Now I will say one of your comments, Anthony Jolly, you're saying, oh, poor baby Padilla, dude, you was being disruptive. He was asked to leave. He refused. He resisted. And the security and FBI had forcibly removed this demon rat. So you're saying he was being disruptive because before the camera got to him, there was some noise and disruption in the back. And that's what we did not see, although we heard a little bit of it. So it's going to be very easy for the left-leaning media, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, to kind of put their narrative around it to make it look like they're just being so just extra with the force. I was just asking a question. But from what you're saying, he was disruptive. So I got to find another clip to see exactly what happened. Like, you just don't see a whole lot. But I do know this. I know they know how to make themselves look innocent. Okay, they're very good at that. All right. But he was not arrested. He was forcibly removed and handcuffed. Okay. And they're going to play this to no end, and they are going to demonize the Trump administration. Though Trump was nowhere in the room, okay, he is going to get blamed for everything. And don't forget that President Trump's birthday is coming up this Saturday, June 14th. He will be 79. Oh, President, you getting up there. You are getting up there. Now, the next thing I want to show is, oh, goodness, this is, okay. First of all, they're going to play on your emotions again. I'm just warning you. And it really makes me upset that they are giving misinformation out here in these streets when it comes to the SNAP benefits, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly called food stamps. Okay. Nobody said they were taking it away from people who actually need it. If you have a physical or mental disability, or if you're very old or injured vet or something along those lines, and you just need it. But if you're physically capable and young enough, then you're going to have to abide by those work requirements. But look, now we know this. I'm just letting you know there are work requirements if you want to continue to receive SNAP benefits. 20 hours a week, 80 hours a month. You have to work that in order to continue receiving SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps. But look at what they're going to try and do right now. They're really going to try and lay it on really, really thick, okay? Because that's how they are. They lay things on really thick. So let's just listen.
I want to turn over one question to Ms. Smith before I go. I want to talk about food. When we're talking about cutting SNAP benefits, it's not just about skipping a meal or experiencing a little pang of hunger. Food is medicine, especially for those living with life-threatening conditions like diabetes. Ms. Smith, can you talk just briefly about the impact of keeping a child with diabetes alive when your SNAP benefits would get cut?
It's hard. It really is. And I've done everything I can to try to get Medicaid for her, and they've denied her every time, just because she's almost 22, and the requirements that they say for her, to be able to get it, she's not qualified for. Even if I were to get insurance through my work, I still wouldn't be able to pay my bills, because it's almost like $900 a month just to make sure like she has her insulin. And there's times like I've literally gone without eating just to make sure my kids eat, and to make sure that my oldest, I can get her blood sugar to come down.
All right. So, okay. Now listen to what they said now. They're talking about your SNAP benefits just being cut. They're not looking at the requirements. They're just saying, and then she's got this sad story. And I'm trying to be nice. She said she's going without eating. I'm gonna be nice, but it don't look like it. I'm just saying. Y'all saying, Linda B, you not being nice. She hasn't skipped any meals, okay? I'm just saying, I think maybe she might not be getting the best quality of food because the food with a lot of chemicals in it tends to put a lot of weight on people, and the healthy, organic, and all the good stuff is very expensive. I get it, but no one said you had to have your benefits cut. You just have work requirements. Now, I got another clip. We're going to listen to this. Now, and then I'm going to show you some comments because I got this from the Democrat, Amy Klobuchar. And I don't know if you remember her, but she was running for president at one time. I think it was 2020 when she was running for president. But I got to play the rest of this because, yeah, this is not making any sense. They're trying to gaslight again.
I am a single mom of 4 who are ages 21, 17, 12, and 11. I would like to tell you my story on how SNAP benefit has helped me. Sorry.
Go ahead. You're doing good.
When I had my oldest daughter 21 years ago, I was working 3 jobs. One job alone, I had to pay childcare, another one to pay food, and which wasn't enough, and one to pay the bills, and I still struggled a lot. Moving forward, I am now working a full-time job as a bus monitor, and I'm a driver who transports students to specialized schools in Kansas City. As an employee of the school district, I only get paid once a month. By the time I get my bills paid, I have nothing left to pay for food and other basic needs. If it wasn't for SNAP benefits, I wouldn't be able to feed my children or myself. I work, pay my bills, and like every other mom, I want to be sure that I have enough food to put on the table.
All right, so that's the end of that. And I noticed that she was reading the whole time. She was reading a lot of that time, if not the whole time, but a lot of that time she was reading. And my thing is, why you got to read? If this is your true situation, if this is your story, why do you have to read it? But she's got a job already. At one point, she was working 3 jobs. She's got a job already. That the requirement was that you work 80 hours a month. She said she has a full-time job. So where is it in there that her benefits, her SNAP benefits would be cut? See, this is all theater. She's putting on this Oscar performance. She got her script in front of her. She did not memorize her lines, so she got to look back at it every now and then. She's not off book yet. That's what we say, in the acting world, when you have not memorized your lines, you're not off book. Off book, you've memorized your lines. Okay. And I don't know why they did this whole thing. I mean, I know why, but I guess they weren't thinking people would think and go, wait a minute, there are work requirements. No one said we're just actually cutting, but if you want to receive this, you have to work this many hours, which she's already working, putting in order to receive those benefits. This is, I know what the law says, but why is she up here talking about her benefits are going to be cut? Again, more fear mongering, more gaslighting. Unless it's something I'm not weary of, I'm not aware of. Unless it's something I'm not aware of, I don't even know why this woman is sitting up here. I mean, I know why, because they're trying to gaslight and play on our emotions. But some of us do think, okay, like we know what the law actually says. She is working now. She's got a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old who could be working. Okay, they could be contributing as well. She's got, a grown person and someone almost grown. The 17-year-old could get a job somewhere after school. Okay, so that's that. But I'm just trying to think, like, wait a minute now, why is it that? Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. But I'm just trying to figure out, why is that? You know, why do they have this woman up here? I'm going to also read these comments. Now, I got to read these comments because y'all going to be like flipping out on me. I just got to read these comments.
I am a single mom.
First of all, this little trick that they did, I call this a trick. That I do call this a trick because they're trying to play on our emotions. And now you see what people are saying. You didn't listen to what she said, or you are deliberately misstating what she said. She is not working 3 jobs at a time. She said she did that 21 years ago when her first child was born. She is currently working 1 job for the school district and using SNAP for food. Okay, that's what that says. SNAP is allowing her to feel comfortable working a job that does not pay enough to cover her monthly expenses. I understand that she values this added free time in her life for her family, but she is expecting that other parents will work more so they can pay more taxes to feed herself and her children. SNAP should be a temporary helping hand to provide nutrition for a family while a parent gets into a better employment position. It is not lifelong supplemental income. Okay, it is not supposed to be lifelong. And I don't know if people just need to, you know, stop feeling like they just have to have it. You know, we have to make choices in life. And then, you know, sometimes jobs will say, you know, she's going to get a little low paying job, but the SNAP helps, you know, but it would be nice if she had a better paying job. This is crazy. No one working 3 jobs should be worried about how they'll afford their next meal. If anyone knows how to reach her, please let me know. For shame to all of those who have been judging and fat shaming this mother. And let's see, the biggest threat to Western civilization. They've got Russia, China, and liberal women with liberal arts degrees. Okay, well, you know, some people are judging her based on her life choices. Yeah, and it says, Amy, your post is a total misrepresentation of the bill. When it comes to SNAP, it merely has work requirements for able-bodied adults without children, and Felicia is working and has 4 kids, so she would be unaffected. Either you're a very ignorant Congresswoman or you're lying. Okay, so she's misrepresenting the bill, hoping that nobody will understand what the bill says. That's why I was like, wait a minute, you got to work to continue to receive benefits and you're already working. So, you know, again, they playing on our emotions. They're trying to make the Republicans look bad and the Democrats, oh, we're here for you, honey. Oh, just cry. She got all choked up. You know, I don't know her situation. I'll pray for her. I don't know. I don't know. But the way Amy Klobuchar, Congresswoman Amy Klobuchar, a demon rat, presented that, she was misrepresenting that, playing on emotions. And people who don't like the Trump administration anyway, they're not going to think. They're just going to go full throttle and go, yeah, see, they're taking people's benefits. More fear mongering. Like when they said he was going to cut Social Security. There are cuts to be made, but they're more cuts from people who are not legal citizens. Those are the cuts, okay? Not cutting from legal citizens who meet the requirements, okay? We're trying to cut people from abusing it and from people who are not legal. They are illegally in this country. All right, so don't believe the mess. Don't believe the noise. They're going to cut Medicaid. Yes, cut Medicaid from illegals, okay? The ones that demon rats want to give everything because that's their new voting block. That's why they're fighting tooth and nail to go after in El Salvador with Abrego Garcia to try and go against ICE with these woke judges trying to hide these illegals, with people going up against ICE, appearing at detention centers. Maxine Waters with her old behind trying to open up a door to an ICE detention center. That old lady should not be out here doing that. They need term limits. They need term limits. She needs to get, Mother Jefferson needs to sit down somewhere. Yes, she sure does. But yeah, they're gaslighting again. And now they've got all these protests that are scheduled for Saturday, this Saturday, the 14th, all over the country. I will not be there. Okay. I suggest you not be there either. Okay. Because this just lets me know what we're dealing with here. The demon rats will do literally anything to get what they want. I will say those demons stick together, don't they? They stick together and they're going to do what they need to do to get what they want, but it's not going to work because we're going to pray about this thing. And these illegals got to go. And you know why they want those illegals here. They want more voters for them. All right. And the legal immigrants and people with our eyes open, we can see right through this. We can see right through it like saran wrap. Okay. We can see this for what it is. But for the people on the left who just have TDS, they're not going to understand. They're going to think that we're crazy. They're like, but it was on the news. The news does not tell the truth. It literally does not. Every now and then you'll get a good station. I mean, I guess Newsmax is okay, Fox for the most part. But I'm telling you, okay, but that's it. That's all I have for today's show. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you select all notifications. And I will not be here tomorrow because tomorrow is Friday. Okay, so I will see you back on Monday. And I've got some super chats. Let's see. I didn't see those. Let me see. I've got Fed Up Patriot, and there we go, Fed Up Patriot. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Marvin L. Jones. You both are blessings. Thank you, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors. Good night, everybody.